Newly released photos from the Department of Justice's expansive Epstein files have drawn attention for an unexpected and unsettling detail. Among thousands of images made public this week, one photograph appears to show a puppet fashioned in the likeness of then Prince Andrew in the background of a picture taken inside Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. The doll, styled after a character from the satirical British television show Spitting Image, was spotted behind Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell in one of the snapshots. That detail has renewed focus on allegations involving British royal Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, and Epstein's network of powerful associates. The significance of the puppet stems from long-standing claims made by Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most prominent accusers. In her posthumously published memoir, Nobody's Girl, Giuffre wrote that when she was 17, she was allegedly forced into sexual encounters as part of Epstein's trafficking network, first with Epstein and his associates, and later introduced to Prince Andrew. In the memoir, released in October this year, Giuffre recounts an incident in which a doll resembling Andrew was allegedly used to grope her while she attempted to respond lightly to the inappropriate gesture. Giuffre's claims include that she was trafficked and forced to have intercourse with Andrew on multiple occasions as a teen, at locations including Maxwell's London home, Epstein's New York townhouse, and his private Caribbean island. The former royal has consistently denied the abuse allegations, but the claims contributed to him losing royal duties and titles recently, and now he goes by the commoner name Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And as these files continue to surface, it isn't just allegations being revisited, there are visuals too. The newly released Epstein documents include multiple photographs of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor himself, taken across different settings and time periods. Some of those images also feature his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, appearing alongside Epstein's inner circle, photos that have now re-entered public view as part of the DOJ release. Virginia Giuffre, a vocal advocate for survivors of sexual abuse and trafficking, died by suicide in April this year at the age of 41. Her memoir, which she completed before her death and insisted be published, has sold over 1 million copies worldwide, bringing renewed global scrutiny to the Epstein case and the powerful figures connected to it. The newly released photo of the puppet does not include context about the moment it was taken, or whether the puppet itself was used as described in the past allegations, and many of the Epstein file images are heavily redacted to protect potential victims' identities. Still, the finding highlights how the continuing release of Justice Department records is shedding new light and raising fresh questions about the disturbing world surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and those who moved in his orbit. Virginia Giuffre's story was never just about one survivor. Her allegations opened the door for others to come forward, women who say they were silenced, ignored, or dismissed for years. As the Epstein files continue to resurface, other survivors' reactions are coming into focus, expressing their dissatisfaction with the redacted files.
Just put out the files and stop redacting names that don't need to be redacted. It's just, who are we trying to protect? Are we protecting the survivors, or are we protecting these elite men that need to be put out there, and people need to know these are predators that are in the files. They need to be brought to justice so they can stop doing this in the long run. It's for everyone's safety at the end of the day. I haven't gone through all of it, so I don't want to speak. I don't want to say the wrong things, but I do understand that also a lot of important, people have been redacted from it. And the whole process of being transparent was to only redact the survivors and the victims' names. So here we are right where we started with the first files. These names that need to be put out there, people need to know about these people, have been redacted. So it's a little bit confusing. I feel like, again, the DOJ, the justice system, is failing us. In the beginning, they were calling us a hoax, right? They were like saying that we were a hoax. And now they're like, we believe you. We're going to release the files. But yet you still haven't released the files, and it's not even full transparent. So it's very nice to say it, but it's also nice to actually do it.
Maria Farmer was a professional artist. She was about 25 years old. She had graduated from the New York Academy of Art, a figurative arts school in New York, and she was working as an employee for Jeffrey Epstein in New York City. She has consistently and repeatedly said that in 1996, in the summer of 1996, she reported Jeffrey Epstein to the FBI after having reported him to the New York Police Department. She reported Epstein, and she reported Ghislaine Maxwell as well for child sex abuse crimes, including child pornography. We've spent many years trying to get her records through Freedom of Information Act requests, which are the classic way to get them. The most recent Freedom of Information Act request I made was in January. I got a response in January 2025, that's earlier this year, and they told me that they wouldn't get back to me before November 2027 to just answer my request. And this has been and when we've seen anything from the government, which is infrequent, it's highly redacted information. And we've never seen anything before corroborating her 1996 report, but we just saw it yesterday for the first time in 30 years, which is remarkable, really remarkable. All we know right now from the documents is that there was a clear and corroborated report that Maria Farmer did exactly what she has said for 30 years that she did. She reported Epstein to the authorities, to the federal authorities, to the FBI. And as far as we can tell, and I wish I knew, Kristen, I wish I had more information out of the files or otherwise, it looks like the government did absolutely nothing. And as a result, having done nothing, having failed to act, horrible things have happened. Had they acted, had they investigated in even the smallest way, they could have stopped him. And it's not just the victims, it's also the victims' families, because it affects not just that person, but everyone they deal with, their loved ones, the people that they come in contact with, their ability to function in society. So it affected thousands of lives, and they could have spared that for those thousands of people, and they could have avoided 30 years of trauma if they had just done their job. One of the key things we want to accomplish with this release of files is transparency. Another key thing is belief, restoration of public trust in the institutions. And a third thing is accountability. And so far, we're not hitting any of those marks. Maria said it beautifully to me yesterday. She said it's tears of joy and tears of sadness. Tears of joy because she's now validated. She's vindicated. Yes, she did what she said she did. And that the world can now see that. And all those naysayers, and there have been a lot of naysayers accusing her of not telling the truth, who disregarded her, discarded her, dismissed her for so many years, decades. She now has some kind of corroboration and vindication that this is true. And the sadness, the tears of sadness, because look at the waste of the 30 years. And not only for her, but for so many victims, whether it's Virginia Giuffre or all the other survivors who didn't have to be